Ba-dum bum bum bum. Slap back, chat frat. Slap back, chat frat. Slap back, jelly frat. Slap back, jelly frat. Slap back.
Hello and welcome back to Back Chat Frat. This week our guests are Mr. Joe Butterball and Mr. Roussel Garnett.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, Russ. You couldn't. I asked you before we started. How are your production values? How's your audio? How's your visual? We're not 15 seconds in, and your audio and your visual is all over the place.
The audio visual looks great from where I'm sitting. What's wrong with it?
It is
from
now,
our
but
perspective, though.
You're around. You're moving around. You're rustling.
That's my style. That's how I operate. You know, that's part of my mise en scène. So if you get behind it or get out of it. That's what I say.
Yeah, get lost.
Get out of it.
I've always said that.
So it didn't make sense till now, actually. So.
But now it does. Now that's what everyone
Said it
wants.
for a long time.
That's what all the fans of Russ want.
They're a demanding bunch. Yeah.
What have you gents been up to for the last month?
Russ, do you want to go first?
Sure. When was the last one? Was it really a month ago?
Yeah.
Was it a month?
One month.
Felt like yesterday.
I know. Well, I'd imagine you rewatch it all the time. So.
Well, that's maybe why, because I'm so busy checking in on the details and things, anecdotes that could have gone better. You know, shots that I could have had a slightly better angle and lighting on, and elements where I could have been listening more than I may have been listening on the night. You know, I reflect on those moments.
Very good.
But yes, it's been a busy month. What month? March? So what were the highlights? Pancake Day? That was good.
Yep. Classic day.
We had a pancake week at my house.
Did you? How did that go?
Well, because in Russia they have Pancake Week, Maslenitsa. They don't. So it's a whole week of pancakes, culminating. We didn't have this, but in Russia often it culminates in the pancake cake. So a cake made out of pancakes.
I didn't understand.
Oh.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, I didn't really understand what Russia was about, but I feel like Russia is they've just nailed it, haven't they? That's absolutely amazing.
Gone up in your
estimation.
You
don't need to know anything else about it.
No, that's excellent.
And
it was good.
How many eggs go into a pancake cake?
It depends on the size of your cake, mate. Really, I mean, but I'd say
reg size.
Average reg. 6 eggs.
Oh, okay, that's quite a reasonable.
That's eggs. Well, yeah, okay.
You get a couple of eggs go a long way in a pancake. You know, if you think
cake.
like two eggs, it's gonna and flour and milk and all the rest of it. That makes a fucking lot of pancakes. That's about that of pancakes.
Yeah,
I would say. So when you're talking 6, you're going up here.
Yeah. And what does it look like?
Maybe 8.
What does the pancake cake look like? Is it just pancakes?
Well, imagine a load
pancakes?
of pancakes on top of each other.
Yeah. Done.
And then there's some other shit on it as well. Yeah,
What's to distinguish
that's
from, let's say I'm cooking up quite a few pancakes.
Yeah.
And I make 2 and I pop them on a pile. And then, I'm quick, so I do another 2. Before you know it, I've stacked up 6 pancakes ready to eat. Somebody walks in and goes, "Oh, you got pancake cake?" And I go, "No, mate, just 6 pancakes ready to eat.
Yeah.
Just stack." Yeah.
No, I mean it's tomatoes basically. But I think the key difference is there are layers in the cake.
I would go savoury. I would go sweet for my pancake.
So very good. I think the key difference is that in between the pancakes and a pancake cake, you might have a bit more of a substantial filling. The pancakes might be a bit thicker than your average pancake. So instead of a kind of not 0.3 mil, you might go 1 centimeter thick. So you're going a bit thicker. You've got stuff in between, and then you're eating it, and then you're kind of pressing down, so it's kind of you've got a thick slice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I didn't eat
lovely.
this. I mean, we're getting so I didn't have this.
How do we get involved in this in the future? Do we have
Well,
to be
go
involved?
to Russia.
You go to
on
Russia.
Pancake Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the only way of doing it. Or find some Russian friends. Do you know any Russian people?
Or marry into Russian.
Well, that doesn't always work because I didn't get a pancake cake.
No.
So, you know,
Marry again.
I mean, that's what I was trying, but absolutely stitched up.
Yeah. How'd you get one of the good ones?
I was playing the long game for the pancake cakes.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's, well, you could still be. You're still playing that long game. You know, now you know about it. It could happen.
Yeah. Well, I've known about it for a long time, but
Was that part of the
Yeah.
deal?
yeah, I snuck it into the wedding vows.
Yeah.
But
Do you take this, man?
nothing sacred these days. But yeah, so pancake week. Anything else, Russ?
Okay, so for me it was just a day.
Yeah. Classic.
Sorry to detract from your story, but for me, Pancake Day was, had some pancakes.
Pretty low key, really.
Lemon and sugar. Yeah, low key. Toss and eat. Prior to that, International Women's Day, of course. Big day in the calendar.
March the 8th.
And marked that, of course, with, as I would mark every day, actually, you know.
Is that where you
Respect-
wolf whistled at
respectfully.
every woman you saw? Yeah.
All right,
I'm
love.
going to make an extra special effort today to make sure I compliment all the women I come across.
Yeah.
Nice tits, love.
Gorgeous, lovely ass. Sit on my face.
Yes. What?
What, you
all right?
what was happening there?
I'm good.
What,
I'm
you
good.
all
Were you making sure you compliment the women? Yep.
Exactly. I'm just checking myself.
Yep. Before you wreck
Before I wreck
yourself.
myself. And so that was a big day. What are the other notable dates in March? I suppose the notable ones are yet to happen, actually, because
Battle of the
British
Britain.
summertime is soon to begin in 2 weeks, and so I'm looking forward to that. Clocks go spring forward, and there'll be more light in the evenings and less in the mornings. And that's very much wrapped up March for me. 3 big dates, 2 down, 1 to go. Looking forward to it.
Happy times.
I feel like you're very much anecdotalizing on like someone who just an alien who came down to Earth, opened the calendar on March and was like, "What happens in March? Pancake Day, done. International Women's Day."
Done it.
That's not true at all. I am
Do you
a
want to
very
share
human.
anything about your life? No. It's just
Lemon and
just to read the
sugar.
calendar.
I think I've shared significant amounts there. You know, they're based around tentpole events,
Yeah.
but through the prism of those 3 things, you get to understand a little bit more about me.
Beautiful.
Dan, what about your month? What have you been up to?
I've done very little. I've just been sat here waiting for this to start again, like every month.
Just checking the Skype connection.
Go! Who's
making
ready?
sure the shots are all
Go!
ready.
Let's go! It's time to go. I've been firing up the Noise podcast. So I have had Joe on recently, and then I had Matt Tornicki.
How did that go down with the general public?
Very well. I had something like
A lot of
1,000.
retweets.
Yeah.
Complaints?
I had 1,000 complaints banned from the internet until next year. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's amazing. It's the most viewed episode and also the most complained episode by such a significant amount generated. Each episode usually gets, I don't know, what is it, 200 views or so. My episode, 65,000 views
Yeah.
and as many complaints. So make of that what you will.
Yeah. I was very
No
happy
such
with
thing
that.
as bad publicity.
No. So
Well,
that's-
you don't read it, you weigh it. Huh?
That's right. And the weight was
You ever heard that expression?
no
Yeah, that's about suitcases, though, isn't it?
apples.
No, that's about newspapers.
Baggage handlers.
You don't read it, content, you just weigh it,
Yeah.
the volume, right? The hits, the likes.
Boom.
That's what you got. Well done.
Well, yeah.
Success.
So yeah, it was. So we did Matt Tornicki from Rakes, and there was like 1,000. It was like 1,000
From where? Sorry?
from Rakes.
No.
Well, the rates.
From where?
Matthew Tornicki from Liscard.
No, but from what band?
Colonel Bastard.
Thank you. No, not
He wasn't
Colonel
in-
Bastard.
No, he was in another one.
The other one.
Come on.
What are they called?
Henry
Great one.
Yeomans,
Yeah.
Interstellar Groove Connection.
Yeah. Oh
Who
my
were
God.
they?
I even talked about it with him. It feels like Colonel Bastard, doesn't it? But it's not.
It does feel like Colonel Bastard. But,
Yeah, it's got that sort of feel.
Well, anyway, this is gold content. We'll wrap this up. We can wrap this up.
Yeah, if you knew what we were talking about, internet people,
Oh, my
you'd
God.
really appreciate this. This is a band that Matt Tornicki was in when he was 15.
Yeah.
You don't know him or the band, but
This is
you
good
know,
to drill
let's
down
try
on.
and it's like a level beyond Peter Kay, where it's like, let's remember things we all have some kind of access to in our shared collective memory.
Yeah.
We're going beyond that and saying, no, let's remember things that not only we can't remember, but no one else possibly could.
I think
The epiphany that I had about this podcast was that the lack of viewership set us free, and it set us free in a beautiful way.
Freedom.
So basically, we can divulge. Fuck it, let's find out what they're called. Let's see if we can explore my brain. Colonel Bastard. Oh my God.
Well, why don't you come up with some other band names that would help you eliminate what it isn't?
The Big
So
Boys.
what weren't they called?
Jerry and the Wonder Mints. Matt.
They weren't the Great White Telephone, were they?
No, Dr. Gonzo
They
Project.
certainly weren't. Absolutely not.
Captain Surprise. Turnip Boys.
Captain Surprise Turnip Boys. That's good. That's...
Oh my God, I know it.
Right.
I know it. Come on, just
They
tell me.
weren't.
Just say what it is.
I don't know what they are.
Oh right, you don't know. Oh my God.
No, I don't know it either. That's the
Okay.
point.
All right. Okay. Colonel
Oh,
Bastard.
right. I think I know it. I know it.
Yeah. Go on, Russ.
They weren't. They weren't Red Snappers, were they? They weren't Rural Surf,
No.
Rural Turf. They weren't the Rising Times.
Analog Friends.
They weren't Curly Fries and the Surf and Turfs.
No. What were they called?
Gentleman's Tickler.
Agreement.
It'll come to us.
All right. Well, let's come back to that. That can be.
Do you
our
remember the Rising Times, Joe? You remember that band?
Very much so, yeah, because that was
what were your
the
recollections?
band that
of
Chris
those guys?
Stoneman, the head of Spotify, #content.
Yeah.
That was the kind of sub Oasis band that he was managing back when he was a lowly kind of serf scrabbling around for something to do.
Bit of music meat to put his.
Yeah,
lowly
get me in on the
A&R
music
guy.
meet.
Oh.
Yeah, throw me a few morsels. I don't remember any of their songs though. I believe they were terrible,
Yeah.
but I don't.
A lot of energy, didn't they?
I don't know. Yeah. I can't remember.
I was going to ring you up, Joe, the other day because I was trying to remember Cable Freeze the Atlantic. And
That was a good tune.
I couldn't, for the life of me, I could not think of the band. And I got real close to those words. I think I said to Beth, like, so many variations of that. But we couldn't find it. And we Googled it. And I was like, something in the Atlantic. Twin something. Yeah, I listened to that the other day. Not as exciting as
I reckon that holds up, even though I haven't heard it for a long time.
Yeah, I reckon it holds up.
I'm confident.
Strong.
Here's a good
position.
song for you. Do either of you remember the band called Delacota? You remember that?
Yeah,
Them?
vaguely. Yeah.
So there's a Coldplay song. It's got a guitar riff on it. What's that song? It's got a repeating guitar riff on it.
What, in Coldplay?
Yeah.
There's more than one.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Do you mean the kind of? No.
No, I mean.
That's exactly the one that I. Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing, mate. But you didn't have to.
All right, mate. Hey, mate. Listen up. Listen to what you're saying, mate.
Mate. You were not doing that.
Listen, no, because you didn't let me get to it. I was going da 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 da.
Don't recognise it. No.
Yeah,
So the
you
one I
do,
was
mate.
doing was.
You
Russ,
do,
does it
mate.
go,
Anyway, we've got that tune, right?
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't
Uh,
played on a harp.
What's it?
Point being, that song is based on a song by Delacota from 1997, and it's called The Rock. And I remembered hearing somewhere that the song was based on the Delacota song, and I listened to the Delacota song, and it's an absolute classic.
This is.
But
all
Can we
good.
play that, Dan? Can you play
Well,
it from
can
your
I
speakers?
can I tell you something interesting? We got
I play it?
we cannot play it. No, Joe, don't play it because Joe, don't.
What
'cause
happens if I play it?
I'm not.
no, all that happens is what happens is
Look,
that we get.
I'm texting Ollie to find out the name of Matt Twanicki's band.
Okay. The what happens is we got flagged for copyright infringement with the Honeys. Do you remember the Honeys? So I had to we had to delete the audio on that, which is a bit
No,
annoying.
but what what about this though? If you look at for example, Beyonce's latest song, it's got 15 writers on it, yeah?
Right.
10 of those people were in the room, and 5 of the people she's referenced, so she's referenced the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, because she had a song called Hold Up, and the lyrics reference the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, but she credited them as songwriters, and that song is now on various platforms, and she can monetize it fantastically. So all we need to do in the liner notes of the thing is credit this band that I'm about to play, and then we're all hunky-dory.
That does sound
on the single that we're releasing.
Yeah, this is a new content piece.
I like it. In principle, I like it. Unfortunately, the reality is that I have to do more work, and I don't want to do more work. So,
I think it's okay if we talk over it, isn't it? Isn't that the rule?
no, because we were talking over the Honeys thing, and they clocked it. The fucking algorithm's awesome. It's hell of a good. Like I watched it back, and it's mental. It plucked it.
How long did we?
It plucked it out from about 5 seconds of us playing it, and it flagged it. So, all I would say is.
So if we're just under 5 seconds.
No, let's not do it. This
Okay.
is.
I'm gonna do it.
Don't do it.
Can you hear that?
No.
You can't hear that. Oh, it's really good.
It does sound. It sounds good.
Wait there a second.
Where
Okay.
in the world is Dick Fontaine?
Good question.
Well, I'm talking to him right now.
Well, why isn't he here? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
Can we all just talk to him? Dick Fontaine, where are you?
All I'm saying is he's got back to me instantly about the Matt Twanicki band.
Yeah. Ah, this is me talking over Russell's trying to play
Okay,
music.
no, this is it.
La
I've got a phone call.
la la la.
The Laughing Colonels.
The Laughing Colonels.
By the way, can I just say, look, I got there before. Ollie hasn't told me yet. I got there before him.
Nice.
Well done.
Laughing Colonels. There we go. Well, you can see why I got confused with Colonel Bastard, can't you?
Yeah.
No, that does make sense.
What
What I would say is,
turn it off. Turn it off.
okay, that was my phone ringing.
That's all I'm going to
Got
say.
that call? Missed call.
We're on a tight
Okay.
leash today.
Okay.
So we're going to
Let's get. We've done a lot of the introductory.
We've done a
stuff
lot of
now.
rambling
I think
around.
we've had some fun though. We've had
Yeah.
some
The
fun.
fat, shoot the fat, and we've gone through my month in detail.
Yeah.
Your month, Joe. You've told us about the pancake cake, but let's get down
Let's
to the
drill
meat
down.
and
Let's
to
drill
potatoes.
down.
Let's drill down to the detail now. Dan,
Real talk.
Real talk.
real. We're now into what I like.
Let's get into real
Hard
talk. Hard talk.
That was soft chat, dilly-dallying in the shallows.
foreplay.
Dive straight into the deep end right now. Let's go. Scuba gear on.
Brexit.
Okay.
How do we fix Brexit? 10 days to go. What is the answer?
I don't think we need to fix it. I think they're doing a bang up job.
Bang
I
up
reckon we
job.
just let it play out.
Excellent. Well then, that's our job sorted for the next 10 days.
I feel like it's when I was at university, I used to leave essays to the last minute. I
Yeah.
feel like
She's
what
just
they
taking a
need to
leaf
do-
out of the Joe Webb.
leave it till the last 24 hours, bang a load of Pro
Bang
Plus,
out.
just see it through, just right
smash
in
it out.
frenzy. Yeah, just smash out an agreement.
Yeah.
You know, hand it in. Say yes, please. I'll have a 2-1 for that. Thank you very much.
I'll
Joe,
take a
this
low
is-
2-1.
References as low as you will go on that 2-1.
I'll take a 2-2 and I'll have it remarked up when it turns out that the average grade of everyone else is too
So
low.
low.
And that floats me up like flotsam and jetsam onto the surface of the ocean, like a sort of tank of plastic floating.
Very
the
poetic.
distance.
But I do think that there's an awful lot of time where you know, like the longer you've got to do something,
The more dilly dally.
it's like entropy. You're going to fill up that time.
Yeah.
So I reckon they should just kick back, let the other Europeans sweat a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
Take
you'll
our
get
high
Juncker a
position.
little
Come.
bit like, yeah, I reckon we should do a bit of a power play. Like we're not doing anything. We're just.
Got loads
How's
of
the
stuff.
agreement coming along?
Yeah.
What agreement? I've been working on my music.
Yeah, I got an idea actually. We got a new agreement. We're gonna legalize cannabis. You guys sort the rest out. We're gonna fucking just chill the fuck out. Netflix has got some shit on.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna binge watch Fleabag.
Yeah.
And,
oh, how good is Fleabag?
Fleabag's great. But I think that no matter how long you've got to do something, you're gonna fill that time with a task.
You
and
are, yeah.
I think 99% of the work comes in the last hour. So
If only there was
they-
some
they
way
should
to
just-
make it different. It could. The world would be such a different
There's not.
place.
There's-
I know.
there's no
I know.
way of
I
working
know you
earlier.
can't. I know. There's no
So
way.
they should just what I think they're doing is just they're leaning into that. They're
Yeah.
accepting the inevitability. They're
Mm.
leaning into it, and they're going. You know, John Bercow, Speaker of the House, was like, "No, you can't present this exactly the same thing for the third time."
Yeah, I'm loving that
Especially in
intervention.
the irony of asking people to,
Yeah.
you know, no, we're not going to have another vote. That would be undemocratic. But can you look at my same bill 3 times, please, until I get the vote I want?
Brexit means Brexit, but vote means 3 times.
Yeah,
Times the
three
charm.
times the charm.
Yeah.
No, I think it's going very well. Yeah, we'll see where we are in 4 to 6 weeks time.
What's our slapback prediction? What's our slapback prediction for what's going to happen? What do we think's going to happen? Are we going to leave? Are we going to have another vote? Are we going to be in no deal? What's the?
No, I think
Should
it
we-
will be post.
Why don't we get the
postponed.
banker
Ma-
involved?
I can predict this right now.
Yeah.
Pretty much play for play.
Yeah.
Nick Clegg style. It's going to be delayed
Yeah.
for 12 to 18 months.
Yeah.
That's going to happen in the next week. During those 12 to 8 months, it's going to be removed from the table entirely. And Theresa May will get sacked,
Yeah.
new government in place,
Yeah.
and we all move on with our lives.
Will we just go? We'll just go. Forget that. Can we just have a?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wouldn't it be amazing if we could do a Dallas? It was all a dream. Ah.
Don't worry about it. Forget all this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we are going to look absolutely fantastic if
We're
we're
gonna
like,
look pretty
you know
boss,
what,
yeah, yeah.
guys? Sorry about all this. We're actually all right being in the EU.
You know what it's like?
Has this caused any issues for anyone? I hope this hasn't caused any extra work for anyone. But actually, we're cool. We're
Yeah.
cool just here.
This is,
so
I'll tell you what this is like. This
forget
is
that.
you're at university. You've just got your very low 2-1 on your dissertation, but final exam. This is worth 60% of the main grade. You go in. There's 3 questions. In your haste to answer the questions, you neglect to read that it says, please only answer 1 question. You answer all 3. You're in there for right up until 3 hours at the end. You do all 3, and you've spent 2.5 hours answering 2 unnecessary questions. That's what this is.
Yeah, I actually did that. I actually did that at GCSE. I think I'm either a little bit stupid or a little bit dyslexic or something. But I got to the final question, which was like, do some stuff. Write like a small like GCSE English, nothing hard, but like write a thing about this thing. And I read this thing and I started writing it. And by the end of it, I'd written for about 45 minutes. I spent ages writing about this thing that I was sure it was. But,
Yeah.
but I completely misunderstood the question. And when I reread it, I was too late for me to do anything different, and I just was like, oh dear. And so I got a higher grade in French, which I can't speak a word in at all, than English.
I was doing this philosophy course, and then one of the questions was define bravery, and then my answer was this is
man with the
two
sword.
words. No, 2 words. This is.
Boom.
And they said,
Failed.
failed, not good enough.
It doesn't say define stupidity.
No, I read that somebody did. I didn't do that personally, but I read somebody did that they passed.
That's boss.
Well, if I honestly think, and this is being serious here, that person should fail for that. I think you should write a bloody essay question like the rest of us, and just pull your socks up and stop trying to be clever. But
however,
philosophy is not like a lot of courses, nuts and bolts and some plus and minus and hypothesis and results. It's about the life of the mind, and when you're on that level, you need to come up with different answers. You need to think about a different plane. You need to think laterally. You can't just be tick boxes. Oh, A, B, C. It's probably B. Thanks. Take my first degree and go get a job in marketing. You can't do that. When you're a philosopher, you think outside the box. You come up with something new, and you're rewarded for it personally.
All I'm saying is that if that was the entire exam, not good.
Yeah,
enough.
it was. No, that was
Not
the
good
final
enough.
grade for the 3
But
years.
if it was a question in an exam, yes, fine.
It determined 60% of the grade in the final
Yeah,
year.
but how much can you tell about what that person knows just from that? Okay, yes, it's a brave act, but it doesn't tell you anything about whether they know anything about philosophy or whether they know anything about anything that they've studied. It doesn't test what it's setting out to test.
It's
So
a
I
wonderfully
would say-
brave act, though, isn't it, as you say?
Is
And
it?
I think,
I didn't say wonderfully brave.
is it?
Um,
Is it? See, so it asks more
is it
questions
even
than
an
it
act?
answers. There you
Yeah,
go. So,
bullshit.
and what
I
it
think
leads
that-
to is all the philosophers.
I would like to see that person not only failed but kicked out the course for that.
I have nothing
Was
to
it-
say. I have nothing to say about this, but I found out 2 pieces of interesting information. One, Russ eats very loudly. One,
I'm listening.
if you look inside an owl's ear, which is like a hole in its side, you can see the back of its eye. You can literally see its eye.
Wow.
That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just, changing the subject completely, obviously.
But I like the thought that that's what you would write for the
what's bravery?
philosophical question. Yeah. I don't. So I can't answer this question about bravery. But did you know?
I think that is another valid answer. You're imparting your knowledge.
Yeah. And
Yep.
another thing I found out today, there's a dog. This is in Metro.
Like the start, like where this is going.
Yeah. There's a dog, Russ. There's a dog. This is on the Metro Weird. There's a dog found with a second mouth where its ear should be.
Couldn't
Wow.
it use the mouth?
Well, it has teeth and it salivates in its ear.
Nice.
It's truly a beautiful thing.
It's a marvel.
I've sent you on the Facebook. I've sent you the link to it, and it's quite a sight. I'm not going to show the audience. I could show the audience, but I probably won't.
Put a link to it.
Pop it up.
Uh,
Link it up.
it's gonna
Can you get it up on your digi screen?
Yeah, I can do. Let's see what that looks like. No, I can't.
What about on the set-top hotbox? Will it refresh into the Digitop box?
Yeah, I think it's refreshed into the Digitop box actually. I'll just download it via the Neutron drive into the Omnox.
Oh, the Omnox. That would absolutely nail it.
Get the Omnox involved. So there you go.
Oh, I'm looking at it now. It's excellent.
Yeah, it is good, isn't it?
Yeah. Mouth ear.
Yeah, mouth ear. Well, there you go. So I may not know what's going on with philosophy. I may not know what's going on in a lot of ways. But mouth ear and owl eye.
They're really... there's a theme as well there. It's weird things that you'll find inside animals' ears.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that should be your main topic of conversation. For people you don't know, just be like, there's loads of stuff you can find in animals' ears.
Well, it's quite disturbing, that image, isn't it?
Yeah.
More than I bargained for there.
Yeah.
You could still crack one out to it though, Russ.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Can do, will do. Can do, will do live. Yeah.
Like a challenge.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. Yeah, it's good. So that's what I've been finding out today.
Okay, so we've covered Brexit. We've nailed that.
Yeah, I think we sorted it.
We found out a little bit about what happens inside an animal's ear.
But there's a few hot topics that we haven't touched upon this month.
Yes.
Which, Joe, if you want to take the lead on those.
Oh no, yeah, I would like to. I would really like to, because there's a couple. Yeah. So, thank you. So
You're
if you
welcome.
would not, if you'd refrain from speaking now, because
I won't do. I won't interject. I just want, if you could introduce yourself, and then
say a little bit.
Extemporize
Yeah.
on the topics. So a little bit of the top about you, about what brings you to those topics, what makes you the person, and then just go into classic 3-play analysis. Really.
Yeah.
It's just baseball, isn't it? And floor is yours.
So shall I just go?
Now.
Am I? Me, is it?
Count them in, Dan.
Okay, here we go. Okay, to the camera.
Yeah.
5.
5, 4,
You
3.
You say the 5. You say, no, you don't say the last 3.
So I'll say the 5. 5.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. 4, 3, 1. So the floor is mine. There's a couple of hot topics which are, I mean,
Hot topics
doesn't even do them justice. They're scorching. I don't think topic does them justice. They're at best scenarios. So they're scorching scenarios.
Scorching scenarios that you want to tell us about.
Yeah, no, I
a little
want
bit about yourself
to
first. Remember, a little bit about yourself first.
Yeah. So how did I come? Well, first, who am I? That's a good question. Thank you for asking. My name's Joe, and I've got opinions, and I want to share those opinions with you. But before I get to that, I want to tell you something about my life. I've never seen a falling star. Or have I? We'll come back to that at the end. That's a teaser.
Well,
That's a teaser. So how did I come to these scorching topics? Well, I'm a thinker. More importantly, I'm a doer. But I do thinking. And I'm thinking now about doing some talking.
God, your mind never stops.
What am I going to talk about? 2 words. Scorching topics. When scorch and topic comes together, boom. You get news. When you get news, you get new. If you look at the word news, within that, if you just take away S, what is it? It's new. That's what news means. It's new things. So we got something new.
Plural.
We got something. Yeah, I mean it's a plural. Abso-fucking-lutely, it's a plural. So we got new things.
Plural, new things.
But what you're all thinking is, okay, so we got a falling star. He hasn't seen one, or has he? I'll come back to that. That's at the end. We got scorching topics. You're thinking, what? So how do these things relate to falling stars? How do these things relate to news, plural? What are
all
the top-
sounds like jibber jabber at the moment. But I know
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna.
It's gonna
pull it
come
all
round.
together.
It's gonna come
Yeah,
round.
yeah. But
Is
it's
it-
the old.
This is the
Yeah, so
raconteur's trick, isn't it?
Yeah.
You make it all sound like sort of a flim flam of nonsense, and then before you know it percolates into a sort of dissertation of beautiful, articulate wonder.
Yeah. So I'm a magician. I've got a hat. You're thinking, is he going to pull out a rabbit or a big pile of shit? At the moment, you don't know. I know I've got a rabbit in there, or do I? But you think, the audience think, well, I can smell shit. But then they're thinking, yeah, but is that the rabbit shit? Tricky.
The rabbit's so big and impressive, and it's been there so long, and it's been maltreated potentially, and that's the reason why it's got some sort of dysentery. But that smell is like the doorway into a world of anecdotal marvels.
Yeah, because
Let's take it
and this
home.
is the thing, and what you'll see about this, so I'm getting onto the hot topics. Don't worry, I'll get there. But this is a kind of meta take on it. So I'm going to pull out a rabbit. You're going to think it's a pile of shit. Then I'm going to pull out the rabbit. You'll say, it was a rabbit. You'll take a closer look at that rabbit and you'll say, but it's got myxomatosis.
Oh.
So the rabbit
It's
has to
dead.
die.
No.
It's dying. The rabbit's dying, but it's a rabbit. So who's
alright?
won? Who's the winner? Who's the loser? Is it the man holding a rabbit with myxomatosis, or is it the audience who thought that there was going to be shit in the hat, but actually it turned out that they were wrong? Who's the winner in that scenario?
That's obvious, isn't it?
It is obvious, and that's for you to figure out. So, hot topics. On the one hand, okay, I'm just gonna get down to the nitty gritty now.
Okay.
Over here, what have we got?
Hot.
It's hot. It's fucking hot.
How hot is it?
Gender.
Ooh. That is a big one.
That's a
I
big
didn't think
one.
you.
Whoa!
Wow.
Brought it home. Bring it into the station. Gender.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't think I was gonna. You didn't think I was gonna land on a topic, did you?
Boom. There we go.
No, I thought you'd get one, but not
Have you-
gender.
Have you,
But
have you
wait.
solved it?
But wait. Yeah, but here's the twist.
Yeah. Robots.
I don't mean the concept relating to how we define our sexuality and our sex.
Mm.
No.
No.
Gender is what I call my friend Jen, who is thick. Gender. Oh, a little bit of a switcheroo.
Ooh.
wait.
Ooh.
Coming back, gender is a man.
Oh!
Oh, so what have I done there?
What have you done? What have you done? What have you done?
On the other hand, the other hot topic. You want to know what the other hot topic is?
Please, please.
Sexy robots?
No.
No.
Other
Women.
hot topic. Other hot topic. Eugenics.
You
What? Did he say eugenics? No. I said my friend Hugh. Eugenics. But wait. Eugenics believes that he's the perfect race and that everyone should have sex with him. Oh, so there's.
Tying
Oh.
right up with a bow.
It's all adding. It's all coming together.
Oh my god! It's like what? Is this what like seeing Darren Brown live?
It's
is?
like David Copperfield, isn't it? It really is. You know when he flew across the sort of the soundstage.
That's what we've just
Yeah.
seen.
It's
live.
like seeing the guys rig that up beforehand.
People are going to think that we edit this show so that Joe could bring that together in some sort of. That was live.
People won't
But
believe
wait.
it.
People won't believe that. What
I'm-
about, what
I'm
about
gonna-
this? The number 55. It'll all make sense at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But wait, so I've never seen a
And let
falling
me
star.
add this. Let me add this into the mix. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh.
Pull us back to you, Joe.
Nice, nice.
Also, you're thinking about fish. Done.
Ah! Oh my god. For the people at home, they might not understand that, but that. Oh
But
my
anyway,
God.
I was going to go on a. There's a long journey how I'm going to pull those two things together, bring it all around,
Oh.
blah de blah de blah, TED
Yeah.
talk, TED talk, TED talk, and then at the end, I look right into the camera and I say, I've never seen a falling star, but I wish I had.
Oh.
But I wish I had.
Wow.
Blackout.
Boom. Shoot
Lights
everyone in
up.
the audience.
I'm wearing a mask.
No audience.
Blackout. Lights up. I've got a gun to my head. Blackout.
Audience gone.
Lights up. It's me, but there's 1,000 me's. Blackout.
Lights out.
30 minutes of screaming in the darkness. Done.
Wow. I've heard it so many times and I've seen it so many times, but to see it in the flesh like that, it really tops it off. It's a really special talk.
That is amazing. Some people got all the skill, haven't they? What happens when you are left alone for the weekend?
Great question. Is that related?
What happens, Joe Butterbull? What happens when you are left by yourself for a weekend?
It follows a very simple trajectory.
Lights out.
Lights out. Pack up. I'm a shark. What? What am I? No, it follows a very simple trajectory. Friday, very, very happy.
Yeah.
Loving life. Friday. Saturday, Sunday, I'm depressed.
Crying.
What's happened in that time is that I've thought, right, I can do whatever I want. What do I like to do?
Beer.
I like to sit around underpants, drink beer, eat pizza.
Boom.
Loving it. I can't really find any films that I'm interested in watching. Well, that's okay. I'll watch, I don't know.
Expendables 3.
One of the Netflix made for Netflix ones.
Oh.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Going
Big
down.
dive.
Day 2, wake up, bit of a hangover. That's all right. It's still Saturday. I'm by myself. I'm still in my pants. Loving it. I'll start drinking early. This is making me feel a little bit worse. But I'll watch another film. But I've already looked for films to watch, and I've already watched the dregs of the dregs.
Yeah.
This is. Oh wait, I'm going down. Come Sunday, Anya's coming back. Going right down here. Oh no, she's coming back, and look at what I've done to the house. It's just empty pizza boxes, beer bottles, and I've made a mess of the whole place. I need to wash myself. I need to clean the house. I need to somehow get back up to this level of civility. So it starts off really promising. I just think I'm gonna just be all do me things, and turns out that me things are terrible for my
General
happiness. Yeah, so it's what I want, but it's not what I need.
No, that's
Tricky.
What happens with you, Russ, if you're left alone for the weekend?
Well, I mean, it's a different story for me. So there are some parallels. So what would happen for me is Friday night, a world of intoxicating opportunity is open. The weekend.
Babe station.
Anything could happen. What's typically given, though, prior to a weekend alone, there'll be an itinerary of things that need to be achieved before the weekend alone is finished.
Yeah.
And so I'll sit there in the freedom of the Friday night thinking, fantastic. Toss those things, can't be bothered, do them later. It's got so much time. I've got an oasis, an absolute ocean of time.
Yeah.
Friday night, TV, predominantly. It's going to be the last leg or something. And there's going to be some drink possibly involved. And then I'll stay up slightly too late. Saturday morning, the oasis is still there. Anything could happen in this day. I could go and meet people. I could go and achieve all the things I've been looking to achieve. I could work on some of my Duke of Edinburgh awards. What typically happens is I look up and it's getting dark. It's 5 p.m. I haven't spoken to anybody. I haven't left the house. I've been sat in the same room for nigh on 10 hours now. Broadly speaking, watching comedians in cars getting coffee over and over again until I've reached the sort of end of what is required from that series. Saturday night, pretty much a repeat of Friday night. Sunday morning, starting to get a bit antsy now. Instead of the deep depression that Joe has reached at that point, I'm in a sort of feverish panic of all the things that I was meant to do on Saturday cannot be achieved now in this short space of time where I need to do them. So a series of excuses and injuries and various waylaid mechanisms are devised so that when the weekend alone is finished, there are reasons why the things that didn't get done haven't been done back into normal.
That's the point that you're throwing yourself off your bike to scuff up your face so you can be like, check. What happened here?
Oh!
You're smashing some cups in the kitchen to explain why the shed hasn't been painted. You know, it needs to be an equilibrium. Yeah, it's an illusion, isn't it?
Are you giving yourself the tasks? Are these tasks that you want to achieve? Are these tasks that someone else wants you to achieve?
The tasks have been imposed upon me. Yeah, and I think I'm always tricked by the volume of time I think there is in a weekend alone to the amount of time there really is, and every time, bang, it's Sunday morning and you're in trouble. You're drowning in stuff. Dan,
mine is. I so infrequently get a weekend where I can be free to do whatever I want, but mine usually involves some heavy masturbation, followed by shameful descent into finding more and more disgusting, horrid,
depraved
porn.
You got to ramp it up. It's got to go up.
It's got to.
You can't go back. You can't go into.
Can't go back to looking in the bra section of the catalogue. Those heady days.
Heady days.
Can you remember those days? Because that was a wild time. That was a wild time.
You find yourself at the point where eventually the POV stuff just doesn't cut it, and you have to walk around people's windows doing your business.
So I will. Probably... so
after more lifelike.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
You need an audience.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that's Dan. Don't worry about Dan.
You get to a point where it's not so much watching isn't enough. You need to be an active participant with an audience.
Yeah.
I mean, you've reached that point where, if they aren't tricked or if they aren't in some way breaking the law, I mean, what is something worth undoing your belt?
Yeah,
unless it's fundamentally illegal. So it may as well be the clothes section of Case Catalogue.
Yeah, right. So after that has reached saturation and I'm sore and I'm angry and alone, I will then play some computer games and I think, I've got ages to play computer games. I'm gonna complete a game I've never completed, and then I'll play it and I'll get to a bit and it'll get a bit hard and I'll go, oh, computer games are rubbish. Or I'll play online against some kids and they'll just destroy me because I'm old and slow and stupid, and then I want to buy something. I want to purchase something. I probably want to go online and buy some happiness. So I'll go to go to Amazon and go, oh, what's gonna make me happy? Oh, this deluxe album will make me happy. And then
Babe Station.
And then I'll go to Babe. I don't watch.
You type in B in the browser before you know where it knows where you want to go before you know where you want to go.
It's put your credit card details in for you. It's like we know where.
Welcome back, Dan. Welcome back. That's a game I'd like to play with you guys at some point. Is the Alphabet Google search game and see the autocomplete. Obviously, we'd have to get Ollie involved in that because his will be the best. But and then it's similar sort of. So it sounds like everybody has all these aspirations of really exciting weekends that end up being quite sad and I don't know what the answer is.
I think the potential is so high.
Yeah, it's like
where you think I just got this weekend. I don't need to do because during the week you have to answer to people.
Yeah.
You have to engage with things, whatever, and you think this amount of time where who's the boss?
Yeah,
I'm
me.
The boss. What am I going to do?
Pizza.
and then before you know it, it's gone. And I've never really played computer games, but my understanding is you start a computer game and it's like time travel.
Yeah.
Before you know it, that is 10 hours done and you've lost a day.
Yeah. But then it's the same as TV, isn't it? It's like, you bang through episodes or something, and then whatever. So yeah, that's the melancholy.
If you find yourself a series which you end up, you think, oh, episode 1 was pretty good.
Yeah.
And you've got a whole series ahead of you. You can. That was the real problem with my masters, was finding Seinfeld at exactly the wrong time because
there was a couple of things.
So many episodes. There was many episodes.
There was a couple of shows that I remember talking to you, and you'd be like, "Oh, I just watched like hours and hours."
But my thinking around that time was so kind of skew-if that I was like, right, what I've got to do is I've got to bang through Seinfeld as quickly as possible, or I'm not gonna...
I ain't gonna finish this Masters. This Masters ain't gonna... I can't get this done.
And he just do all 9 seasons with the commentary, otherwise... Can't even start this. Can't even look at the Masters until these are done, obviously. And then I need to...
Obviously,
well, also...
I've got to...
But isn't that the weird thing?
No.
Oh, well, it's a different perspective, because I used to have that with the study guidelines. You would feel a sort of delicious pleasure in watching the things and doing things you weren't meant to do because of the course. But of course, now if you have a weekend and there isn't actually a thing that you're meant to do, I think with the rules taken away, you then very soon starts to become like a sort of slothful, disgusting activity, just watching stuff, because you should be doing something more constructive, but nobody's forcing you to. There's no guidelines anymore.
Yeah.
You're in the deep end with no armbands.
You're in the deep end.
And maybe what you need is for someone to knock on the door and say, hop on your BMX, let's go do some bunny hops.
Yeah. Let's get the basketball, bring your BMX, let's get out. Let's get outside in the sun.
Hey, I found a rock that looks a bit like a frog.
I'll be there. Let's go. Yeah. Well, let's go and get our BMXs and fucking meet up. Let's meet up this summer.
Let's do it.
Let's fucking do it.
Okay, I'm there.
Let's find some rocks that look like things.
What have we learned, gentlemen? What have we learned? What's our come away from this weekend? This episode.
We've learned that if you look through an owl's ear, you can see its eye. Yeah. That's pretty big.
Check that out. Google it. It's fucking awesome. It's well good.
Yeah.
We've learned that you can salivate and get teeth in your ear if you're a dog.
Yeah.
We've learned Brexit.
We've learned that
gender
many
eugenics.
Two of your Betty buddies.
My friends.
Yeah.
We've learned that, contrary to popular opinion, there are many different ways to be brave.
Yeah.
And we've learned Brexit is going to be sorted.
Yeah, Brexit is going to be
Pro
sorted.
Plus.
Yeah. Pro Plus. Last hour.
All night. Yeah.
Well,
once they've watched all 9 seasons of Ally McBeal,
do you reckon
they can get on to
Brexit.
But now I think these 2 weeks are the Ally McBeal, Sex and the City. If I just got to watch 6 episodes, I can't get to it.
Got to get it out of the way. Or it's just going to hang over the whole process.
Yeah.
I couldn't even concentrate on the Article 50 if I'm thinking about Miranda and
yeah, exactly. Just do me a favour. No one tell old Teresa about Will and Grace, because that's gonna.
Do you reckon
gonna scupper the whole thing?
Do you reckon the reinstatement of Friends on Netflix has really fucked Brexit?
I think
right?
that's why we need the 18-month extension.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
We just need to finish Netflix. Look, I just need to finish Netflix, all right?
But when they ask for the 18-month extension, they'll do it in such a way that they'll say, like, why haven't you written this down? What have you asked for? And what they're actually saying is the A-team month extension. So, we thought you were going to be working in this month. We've watched every single episode of the A-team.
Yeah,
we have been. Yeah, that wasn't even good.
We have been working really hard. Yeah. I ain't getting on no plane. That's what Theresa May is going to say to
the immigrants
when he says, "Look, we need to hammer this out." I ain't getting on no plane. All right. Well, lovely stuff. I better go and do some cooking.
All right.
Bye, guys.
All right. Thank you very much. This has been
Joe.
Back Chat Frat. We'll see you next month. Goodbye. Cheerio. Bye. Back Chat Frat.